let's welcome Katie to explain the objectives of the speech, please.
So I'm very excited. Ansu's going to be giving her very first speech, her icebreaker, and the objective of this speech is really just to get comfortable speaking in front of a group, introducing herself to us and telling a little bit of a story so that we get to know her better. That's it.
Thank you, Katie. Let's welcome Ansu George.
Was opened up with just one line on it. Toastmaster of the day, Oathmasters, good afternoon to one and all. And after that, it was blank. I did not know what I should speak for my icebreaker speech, and this was just last night. And as usual, like any other person in the social media era, I got distracted by my phone and a notification popped up from Facebook. I clicked on it and a picture popped up with the title, "On this day last year." Bam! That's it! Toastmaster of the day, fellow Oathmasters, and guess we're not there. Good afternoon to one and all. So, are you guys excited to go on a journey to know what has happened to Ansu George for the past few years on this day?
Yes.
So now you guys might be curious to know what was that post that came up on Facebook. Well, this was it. 4 of us have been friends since kindergarten. I grew up in Abu Dhabi, UAE, and that's where I did my schooling, and they are my friends from childhood. So ever since school ended, we have been trying to plan a trip, and finally we got to do this last year. We visited the city called Kurd in Karnataka, India, where we visited a Buddhist monastery. A few hours after this picture was taken, we were thrown into the river by our tour guide / river rafting guide, who wanted us to learn how to survive in the river and learn how to float. So this trip was filled with a lot of adventure, monastery visit, and it was a triumph of our friendship because we could be quirky among each other because we have known each other for like 12, 15 years or so. So now that I shared an integral part of my life, that is my friends, let's check what has happened probably 2 years ago. On this day, 2016, August. So 2 years ago, I started my career. Throughout my childhood, my dad used to always chant this quote by an ex-president of India and a scientist, APJ Abdul Kalam. Dream, dream, dream. Dreams leads to thought, and thoughts lead to action. So this quote has always inspired me, and my dad used to always tell me to dream. I've always been very excited about starting my career, and finally when I did it 2 years ago, it was with SAP Labs in India. I still remember the day I got the job. This was through a career fair in my college. And SAP was a software used very frequently in the Gulf countries in the oil industry, and my dad worked in that industry. So he used to often talk about SAP. So when I got this job, I remember texting him saying, "Daddy, I'll be creating the software that you will be using from now on. I got a job at SAP." So the journey that started 2 years ago has landed me here in Sunnyvale at Yahoo. And I hope I have more exciting journeys ahead in my career. That was about my career. Now what happened 3 years ago? Well, in 2015, I was in my final year of my college. And during my final year, I was part of my student council and was elected as the vice president of my college. And this was a really memorable year in my life because I was able to work with really eminent people, like the director of my college who had worked for projects like Chandrayaan and with the ISRO, which is the NASA of India. And having meetings with him and interactions with him, his leadership skills had an impression on me, and I always still keep in touch with him. So I would like to share an anecdote of something that happened during that year. Colleges in India work a little different. for girls, we stay in hostels, which is like a dormitory within our university campus, and we have something called block timings. This might be a strange term in this part of the city, this part of the world, so this is how it works. So girls and guys have to stay in different dormitories, that's fine, but we have a restriction that we need to enter our dorms by like 7 p.m. at night. So most Indian societies have an age-old tradition of safety, girls cannot be outside and things like that. So this was affecting us, like we couldn't do projects later, or we couldn't like discuss with partners and things like that. So during that year as a VP, I was able to push the 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. and this was celebrated in my college. This was a tedious process, just like maybe the immigrants will have to fight against Trump's laws. It was as tedious as that. And then 2014, this is a fun fact about me. Probably if you Google Answer Judge Abu Dhabi, you might just find a link that might actually link to me. I had participated in a local pageant in Abu Dhabi and happened to win the title. It was called the May Queen, and it is sort of like Miss India Abu Dhabi, but I won a bunch of money from that, so I'm happy. And this was from back then. Well, Facebook didn't have any more memories for me, so that was like quarter of my life till now, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as I finished my speech, I would like to share something which inspired me a lot throughout my life. This is again a quote from APJ Abdul Kalam, the ex-president and scientist from India. If you fail, never give up, because FAIL means first attempt in learning. End is not the end, because END means effort never dies. And if you ever get a no from anybody, think of NO as next opportunity. Hope this was inspiring to you guys, and over to you, Toastmasters.
Please take a couple of minutes to evaluate the speech.